And so as you can see, hey, now I'm doing a show, I've got my desk and I'm ready to go. However, this looks a little bit out of place because I look like a giant and I'm not really that tall. So what I can do is I can move it around like so from the input, hold down Shift to zoom in and zoom out, place myself behind the desk here. Or I can also go into the multi-view settings like so for this particular virtual set, and I can then move myself around and reposition myself how I like. I just need to select this particular layer and I can change the positioning from the position screen as well. Okay, so now here I am on this set. It looks pretty good. So what I can do now is I'll actually go back to the camera settings and zoom out to a wider angle, and that way I'll be able to set up these other screens as well. So I'll go to setup, and then I'll go screen 1. I'll put this hummingbird picture. I don't need it to play, so I should pause it. Screen 2, I'll put this PT Symphony. I'm going to pause that so we don't hear the video and the audio. Should probably turn that off. It's a great music video if you want to check that out. And then I've got other options here. So I've got this number 3 down the bottom. So what I'm going to do for this one here, screen 3, I'm going to throw up the vMix logo. And that way it looks like I've got the vMix News Show. Welcome to the vMix News Show. Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to the vMix News Show. So yeah, it looks totally believable. There are other options here that I can change. I can change the backdrop, the skyline here if I wanted to. So if I wanted to make this, you know, like a beach, so I'm on a cliff now, doing this report, I can change that as well. So there's a lot of different options you can change. And now if I go back to the camera, I can choose to, you know, zoom in quickly. Hi, welcome to the show today. My name's Tim, etc., etc. And I can change the speeds here as well. Now you can also adjust the camera level zoom, so how far they zoom in and zoom out. So for example here, like this shot we have, it's a fairly close up, but if I wanted to bring this out just slightly or even zoom it in, all I need to do is right click on the angle and then I can choose to zoom out. So I can choose what kind of angle I want, and I can also slide it as well if I want to tap to the side here or change different things on different axes. So if I select this here, so now if I come out to mid-level, if I go to this one here, it's going to be to the side. So you can choose where you want those zoom levels for the camera angles to be. So that's how simple it is to set up one of the pre-built virtual sets in vMix. Now if we go back into the menu here, we do have a couple of other virtual sets that give you that sort of ability. And we also have these double boxes as well. So for example, I can select one of these double box. So with this double box here, I can get this set up and I can choose what layer I want to use. For example, you know, box 1, I can choose a New York City video. Box 2, I'm just going to select it first. And I can change it to something else. And then I can go ahead and change the backdrop as well to a different one. Like that. So then I've got a virtual set, but it's really like a double box effect. So I can create a double box effect or a multiple box effect using the virtual sets. As you can see here, there's a bunch of them in there. So I can use the same sort of functionality for this one with the cameras. So I can zoom in like so. So if I do this quickly, I can zoom out and I can move into this one, zoom out to double, zoom back to this one. So I can use the virtual set for that double box effect as well. So I'm just going to quickly close this down. Now I can also go ahead and add a virtual set. I can create a blank virtual set if I want to and click OK. So that gives me the ability to add layers to this one. So for example, for my background layer, I could put my picture like so. Let's put this in here. For the next layer, for layer 1, I can make it me. So I'm down here. And then layer 3, I could put in something else. So I could go ahead and put this video here, and then I could change where it goes. So it's kind of like creating an input multi-view, but using the virtual set functionality. And if I wanted to, I can choose to export this as well. I can also make layers visible and invisible using this box here. I can reset the positions if I want to, if I move them. So that's what you can do underneath each of the virtual set. So I can export the virtual set as well by clicking export. I can export all of the settings to a folder. Once you've exported the folder, if you wanted to import it again into vMix for this production or another production, you just need to go to Add Input, go to Virtual Set, and then go to Browse and select that folder. Now before, we showed you this blank input here. You can also create a blank 10 virtual set. So if I select it here this will give you the ability to have 10 different layers instead of just 5. So you need to build your virtual set and then start layering all your inputs in vMix. So for example, if I picked layer 5, we showed you a little bit about this before, but then if I go into the multi-view settings for this waterfall, I can go ahead and position this better. So if I've got the ability to have, if I've created a picture of a television behind me, I could go ahead and move this into the right location, and then I can adjust it on different axes, zooms, and maneuver it around and crop it if I need to. So that's how you would go about building your virtual set, finishing it off in vMix. So one final virtual set that we do have is a 360 set. So if we go to virtual sets here and we select 360 video, click OK. Basically what we can do is use the 360 video as the full 360 when we're streaming, and then we can inset different vMix inputs. So with the setup here, I would select the camera 360 as the camera, and then for the front, right, left, and I can move those around. Now we do have another video that explains this in a lot more depth, so I would recommend checking that out if you wanted to use the 360 virtual set. So thanks for watching this video. If you do have any questions about virtual sets or about vMix in